Hey everybody, it's Alex and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Grimm household. This is probably my favorite family like ever. I have been playing with them for so many years now, so many years. I want to say I'm going on, or I am on year 5 or 6, somewhere in between there. I love this family to death, and I play them very slowly, and I mainly have aging off quite a bit of time. So let me adjust my mic. I've been having issues with adjusting where my mic is at, so I'm sorry if I sound off key or anything like that, or off base. But yeah, so let me introduce you and give you a little bit of backstory about them and what I've been up to in the past 5 or 6 years. So this little man in front of you is Benji Grimm. He was born not too long ago. His parents are Winter, who is over here, and her husband is Mr. Mateo. She actually met Mateo in Mount Komorebi. And this is actually her brother's best friend, if that makes sense. And it's a lot. It's a lot. But let's go into the family tree real quick so you can kind of see where I'm at with the family. So this household's been through a lot. It's been through a lot. My founder was named, his name was Kingston. So if I can just adjust it, I don't know why it's not showing Miss June, but you know, she's there. So this family was loosely based off of the Addams family. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to do based off the Addams family. So that's kind of the idea that we're going with. So Kingston was actually in the criminal career and June was a gardener. This was pre-seasons, mind you, this was pre-seasons. So she made a lot of money off of her garden, and her garden was racking in like a lot of money, like thousands. Like she had a lot, like her garden was amazing. So that's kind of what they did. So she was like a makeshift gardener, and they were just best friends in the beginning. And he actually had a one-night stand with Maddox's mom, and I think she's in here if she's not deceased. Is this her? No, I think she doesn't show up anymore. But she had a one night. She had a one night. I'm sorry, I cannot speak. Yeah, he had a one-night stand with with Maddox's mom. She was a vampire. He did not know that. So half of this family tree is like vampires. So that happened, but around the time that happened, he also hooked up with his friend June, and she was also pregnant. So not too long after the fact, June gave birth to their first son, which was, I believe, Mayhem. Yes, it was Mayhem first. So they also have just odd names, and I did that on purpose. That's intentional. And then after Mayhem, it was 11, and then it was Chemical, the last one. So in total, they had 4 kids. Maddox's mom wanted nothing to do with him, and he was actually left on the doorstep of Kingston and June, so she took him in as one of her own. Since they are vampires, their tree is very, very small. He went on to have 3 kids of his own, and they're actually triplets. So there's Cypus, there is Lance, and there is Blaze. So I believe Cypus has children, and I don't know about the other 2. I think he might have a child. But yeah, there's children involved on this side. Very, very, it's not very out there, but yeah. I chose to follow the path of Mayhem. He was probably by far my favorite sim ever, and he's actually the reason my channel is called MayhemSims. So yeah, it's named after him. Mayhem ended up having 2 kids of his own. Jackson was the oldest, and Seraphine is the youngest. So for a little more in-depth backstory, June comes from a family of witches, which was lied dormant for a couple generations, and it finally sparked up with Seraphine. So Seraphine is the first witch in probably maybe 5 or 6 generations. After this point, June's mother was a witch. She never got it, and it's kind of like that. So Seraphine was a witch, and it came out, and Jackson had a friend, which this is like a trend. Was Seraphine's husband, which was Dorian. Yeah, it was Dorian. I don't know why he's not on here. And so her and Dorian was he was a wizard, I guess, or a witch, you could say. He came from a family that was just highly dysfunctional. He did not get along with them, and so he kind of was no contact with them, but he was very close to Seraphine's family. And he actually took over the Grimm last name. So far, all of the men in this family have taken on the Grimm last name if they've married the women. And they went on to have 3 kids themselves. They had twins, which was, the first one was Rosen, and the second one was Ace, and then the last one, it was November. So they went on to have three, and they actually had a family home, which is in Glimmerbrook. And I believe Ace lives there by himself. He doesn't have any kids. He followed his dad's footsteps and went to play sports. Now, it sucks to say this, but it's like history repeated itself. Rosen got into it with Dorian, and they actually stopped speaking, and Rosen actually took off to live in Mount Komorebi for a very long time. And actually, that is where November followed him. So November followed him to Mount Komorebi, and that's where that happened. That's where I actually got it all wrong. So that's where November met Pace, and from there, Pace and Mount Komorebi. Shouldn't say Winter and Mateo did not meet in Mount Komorebi. They met elsewhere. That's where I got messed up. So these two met in Mount Komorebi. They were friends. She was like a part of the friend group, so they were all friends. And they moved to Copperdale. No, so first they lived in Newcrest, and then I moved them to Copperdale. And then they had these two, and I believe they're also twins. Yes, I think they're also twins. We were having a trend of twins. I don't know why. Oh, there's Dorian. I was wondering where he went. And they had twins, which was Winter, and it was Rex. Rex is actually married to Winter's best friend, Kennedy, and there's like a weird thing going on right now, where Winter really is like at odds with Kennedy, and it kind of sucks because with the new update to Growing Together, they're they get along really well, like the puzzle pieces are connecting. But the thing is Kennedy has this weird crush on Mateo, and it's like known between them, like all three of them know, but it's like no one wants to say anything about it. So yeah, all three of them like know it's like a thing. It just nothing's ever been said. He's struggling to come to terms with it. I think he's more in denial. Like he knows, but I think he's in denial. But these two for sure know, and they're like, yeah, this is weird. She actually came to a party with the two of them, and she was in a not so appropriate dress. She was very scandalous, might I add. And it was intentional. And it was like, it shook everybody. But it was also the same time they were also announcing that they were pregnant. So that's when, little Benji came along. But Rex ended up having two kids with Kennedy, which is Miss Madeline and Miss Shay. I believe. So they were pregnant. So they all went to college together too, except Mateo. Mateo didn't go to school. He actually went straight into being a actor. He jumped into that career, and now he's like probably one of the best actors in the sim world, or at least in the save. So even though this is like this weird thing is happening, like they're still thriving and stuff like that. It's just really weird. Like I don't know why. It's a weird thing that has happened, and it was started by the game, and I just kept up with that storyline because she actually like asked him on a date, and I was like, ma'am, like why would you say something so like crazy? And so that's what happened. So now we have a little Benji, and this is kind of where that is. Mateo's really nice. They all went to school together. They kind of all rolled in the same groups. She actually met him just out and about, and it was really nice. It was really cool. She also has a lot of traits. So we can go into it. She's an overachiever. She's a cat lover. She's good. She's loyal, and she's cheerful. And I did get her the always welcome trait, so she can go and visit her. So she can go see her mom and cook over there and everything. She was a top-notch toddler. She has good manners. She comes from a very strong bloodline. She's responsible. She's a high filer. And she's alluring, domestic. She did graduate from university with honors. She's a quick learner. She has the knowledge, which is the entrepreneur trait. This took forever, mind you, to get. She's observant. She's a companion. She's surveillant. I actually got this one, I think, from completing the soulmate aspiration. And of course, higher education, because she completed the academic aspiration. So because I played with aging off, I was able to get all of this pretty easy. As far as milestones go, I just shows her adult ones. It shows all the times that this stuff happened, except manifested as a spellcaster was when she was like a teen. So that's fun. And it shows when she fell in love, when she got married, when she made a best friend, and things like that. So those are her milestones. She is a people person. I'm sorry if I'm also breathing into mic. I don't mean to. I didn't realize I was that close. She's a notable newcomer. Her degree is actually a computer science, and that's it. She actually is a villain. So, obviously, like I told you guys, Kingston was a villain. So there was several other family members that became villains. It was her great grandfather Mayhem. He also followed the line of villainy. And November, I believe, did as well. The only and so did Seraphine. No. November didn't. November ended up becoming a lawyer, and she became the family lawyer to protect her mom. And then her mom passed away, so now she's no longer like a criminal lawyer. She's just a regular lawyer now. I'm assuming she would still do crime on the side, but you know. But Winter here went to school to do computer science and became an oracle. So she's like the tech criminal, which is really cool. And they live in this really big house. They're actually kind of in the process of maybe moving. She wants to move somewhere more like better. They live here in Del Sol Valley because it is better for Mateo's career, and that's just where they've been this whole time. He is a level 10 actor. His traits are active, insider, geek, bro, child of the islands. He's a morning sim. He also has always welcome, and we're getting a phone call. Don't do that. No. Oh my god, not the incest. Okay. He also is a Stows and Grill master. He's a gym rat. Of course, he's a world-renowned actor, amuser, home surf, and he's domestic. And these are his milestones. Reached peak of stardom. Achieved a pristine reputation. This was accidental. I don't know how that happened. He just has a good reputation. Which is funny because for me, this family, I feel like this family's been in the limelight forever now. You know, and I think their fame was dying down, but then it sparked back up when Winter married Mateo or started dating Mateo. So now they're back to being a famous family. So essentially in this save, they're like a famous family without this. But they're a famous family. Think of like goth level in this save. He's energetic and he's also a people person, and this is his reputation, and he does have an extra fame point. But yeah, this is where they live, and it's really nice, and it looks like our maid's pregnant. Ma'am? Like, how did that work out? And today is also Will Wright Day, so they're actually probably gonna do some things too. She's working out with him. Let's check on the baby. Let's ask him about, no. He's like stuck this computer. Yeah, we'll have him do it. Ask about the baby. We just had his birthday. We did like a really cool blue themed, so everything is still just all over the place from that point. We still have a lot of like decorations up too. We haven't taken down. I'm very slow to take things down, but I also think today is the first day of, no, we're still in summer. Okay, and this is what my calendar looks like in general. I know I think I showed you guys my calendar earlier in growing together, but this is what my calendar looks like just in general. Here is Will Wright Day, and then I do have like Pride, and then I do have like Earth Day, and then I have Summerfest, which I'm still very keen on from Sims 3. I have the first day of fall, and then I have Day of the Dead here as well, and then I have Halloween. But I can't remember even in real time if Day of the Dead's before Halloween or after. That's not very Hispanic of me, is it? I can't remember. And then we have Thanksgiving, and then we have the first, oh, this is the first day of winter, but it's called Polar Palooza, and then of course Christmas, New Year's, and things like that. I actually got all these ideas from Ocean Sims's videos where she has all that stuff, so I thought it was really cool to have. But today is with the family. I think we're gonna invite them all over for a mini party. Just like the rest of her family, she also has like a mini garden. She started doing this recently, because when she was pregnant, she was like, she only works at night, so she doesn't have much to do during the day. And her mom actually gave her two money fruit trees, so that's how they also make their income, aside from them just having like money just over generational time. But they're relatively, I love this family to death. Like, they're probably one of my favorite families, and I think this family particularly, they're just so in love, and it's so obvious in and of itself. They're just the best. We got an aspiration. Impressed. He is impressed. I want to change his fits so you can see like his everyday. He has a couple everyday fits. Like he has a couple. This is what they look like. He also has two pairs of pajamas too, which he has this one where he's wearing a crown. He has a hat that's facing backwards and a basic fit. And his dad gave him this. He's not wearing a suit. It's just like a somewhat tucked in shirt and jeans. And then he has like, of course, a skeleton outfit and then a regular one. And then this is his like party wear. It's like a furry jacket and stuff like that. But we're gonna put him in the crown. I love this little crown. It's so cute. He's looking at his dad like, I don't understand. But as far as that goes, they don't know if they want another child. To be fair, they kind of only ever thought about having one child, and it was kind of prevalent when they bought this house. It was a two-bedroom house. Essentially, like here's their bedroom and here's Benji's bedroom, like right next to them. And he has his own ensuite bathroom essentially as well. And then here is the office for both of them, and it has stairs that go downstairs. And it's like their safe is in here, and it has like a workout room down here for Mateo, and then it has like a theater room for them as well. I forgot who made this house, but someone made this house. It looks like we have to get him a gig. We'll probably do this one. Well, he needs to get a gig, but yeah, I don't forget who made this house, but it also has a laundry room, and I put the little cat tree in here and stuff like that. And it has a pool and a hot tub and this little thing back here. So yeah, that's kind of what that looks like. And she has her own little space too to do yoga. So yeah, they weren't planning for another child. They kind of just wanted one, and this would probably be the first generation in probably the history of this family to only where my heir would only have one. But I really do like Benji, and I kind of want to explore that only child syndrome, so that'd be really cool. And he wants sugar. No, no, you're not doing that. So yeah, that's him. They have two pets actually. So on one of the many trips, when they were on their honeymoon, it was actually Winter who found this lovely lasur named Bentley. He was found in the streets of Salvadorada, and she decided to take him home. And now he lives here, and he runs all over the place because that's just how he is. And this is Sumi. I actually, she resembles a family pet that her great great grandfather had, Mayhem. Him and Maddox had a cat similar to this named Turtle. And so I thought, as soon as I saw that she was up for adoption, I was like, oh, we need her. She is a grim icon in this house. So they have her. She was first, and then they went on vacation and brought back a dog. I don't think she was very pleased about it, but it happened. So I digress my point there. I don't know if I have this set so she can come back. Okay, yeah, so as long as she can come back. I usually keep all the doors locked for the cats so that way they don't leave. But yeah. And so yeah, that's what the house looks like, and I'll just give you a little day in the life of them and talk to you a little bit more about them for a little bit longer. But yeah, I've been playing them for a very long time, and like I said, they're probably one of my favorite families just in the world. I've been playing them for so long, and I love them so much. I think I've only moved this save twice, and that was when I got a new computer and I moved them. So they've only jump saves twice, and this save, as old as it is, it's still kicking, so it kind of works out. But it's really nice. We'll give him a talking to. Let's give him some affection. Let's snuggle him. So the current aspirations now is successful lineage and super parent. I believe she's on level 1. So she wants to be the best parent she can be for Bentley, and he's just kind of like, yeah, he wants to be a good parent as well. Okay, I'm sorry, that was my cat if you heard that. They both want to be very good parents and be the best that they can be for Mr. Benji, so that's just how that works. Not like they didn't come from good families themselves. Mateo's dad like kind of just up and like dipped on him a little bit, so he doesn't really have any. Okay, my cat's on my desk. Ma'am, stop. What's with all you animals on the desk today? Here. Okay, I'm putting her down so that way she doesn't jump. I'm sorry if she hits everything. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I'm trying to... Please. Can you jump down? Thank you. That was very... just... okay. I don't like her on the desk because she has a tendency to knock over everything by accident. It's because she's a little chunky. She's not big chunky, but she's thin chunky. She's like a little chunkers, but I went to the vet. She's not obese, I promise. She's just a little chunkers. And I think it's because I got her spayed, so it's her skin sags, and that's what makes her look a little chunky. And it's just, yeah. And my desk is small, so we don't have room for 2 people on this desk. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Mateo he comes from a neutral family. Just there's not much there, as where Winter comes from a family that is just very out there. And you know, her family had a lot of love because they kind of with November's parents going through it and everything like that, the love kind of went down. So November comes from like a decent family. I mean, not November. Winter comes from a decent family, you know, with lots of love, and that's what they wanted to express in their family. And yeah, so that's what happened. If you want to look at Benji's, oh, I don't think I showed you Benji's. So these are Benji's traits. He's angelic. He was a happy infant. It says, although not perfect, Benji was quite a happy infant. Benji would tend to build positive relationships with those around him. Of course, he comes from an ancient bloodline. He's a little singer. He has a good appetite, and he also loves sounds, which is really cute. And I do have some ideas in mind for Bentley. I would love him to go back to Glimmerbrook and kind of explore Glimmerbrook for what it is. I think he'll probably move into the family home, the Grimm home, and probably get in touch with his magic. November got in touch with it a little bit later in life, and so did Winter. She kind of played with it around when she was a teenager, but I haven't had a sim in this family play with it as much as Seraphine did. Seraphine was probably the biggest one that was really into it. She mastered it out entirely, which was really cool. So I would love to do that again. And his milestones are he learned to walk and he learned to talk, which is really cute. And he learned all of this as a toddler, which I don't know how, considering he was already a infant pre growing together, so I thought that was nice. So yeah, so that's his traits, his milestones so far. And this is a character values going, but he doesn't have much. I think I have aging on in here, 6 days. Yeah, I have aging on. I don't know what's going on with the family as of yet, but I'm thinking about showing you guys around, and so you can see kind of where everybody is. Grilled fruit. I'll probably do some grilled fruit, just so that way we can do these out of the way. And I think I'll probably jump to it, and then I'll show you guys where her parents live. So you can kind of see kind of where all the kids grew up. I'm thinking about it, but I feel like it's a lot of jumping around. But I can show you in the world kind of where everybody lives. So I'm gonna get on that real quickly, and I'll show you guys in a minute. Alrighty, guys, and we're in the world. So here is Glimmerbrook. So this is where Lance lives. He lives in the Grimm family manor. This is where Cypus lives. So Cypus and Seraphine were very, very close, and he stayed where she lived. He basically, even though they were cousins, they were best friends, and they were each other's ride or die. It was Cypus that actually told her to make the move on Dorian, and so she did. And he actually met a fellow witch himself, and they live in this little house right here. This is another home I think I built, I want to say. But yes, this is where they live, and we'll go in there in just a second so you can kind of see like how that looks. If we go to Copperdale, this is where Winter's parents live. They live here in this little home off the Outlook. I believe it's like an Outlook. And so that's where they were at. I don't think anyone else that they know is here. I think the rest of the family lives in... Do we have family here in Komorebi? Oh yeah, we do. And this is where Rosen lives. Rosen and his wife live here with their daughter Vera. They live here. This is actually the house that they were living at. So originally they were staying here, and then they saved up enough money and they moved to this home, and he just continued to stay here with his daughter. I think he also only has one. They never had a second one, and I think it's because his wife couldn't. And then in Oasis, this is where one of Mayhem's brothers lived. His 2 daughters live in this home, and I don't know where everybody else is at. Everyone's just in weird places. I don't know. I have all the family like everywhere else. Oh, I guess one lives here. Oh no, that's where Rex and his wife live. They live here with their 2 girls. I didn't know they lived there. When they all kind of moved out, they just kind of moved out. I didn't know where they went. But I'm going to take you to Glimmerbrook, and then I'm going to show you the home where basically that Seraphine and Dorian made, where November and her siblings lived. And this is kind of like, the idea is whoever the heir is supposed to retire here. So, but November is still young and thriving, and she hasn't lived here yet. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah, they have like 1.6 million. I forgot about that. So this is the home. I actually built this home myself, and it took me days. So this is what it looks like from the outside. It has that fence from It has that fence from the Vampires pack. I really wanted it to be fenced in, since it had this really long driveway and it goes up the back. I preferred it because it had all this stuff around it. And I really wanted a house with like a tower, and I feel like it's obnoxious, and I feel like I should redo this because what is this? This was like, remind you, this house is a couple years old. Um, so let's see. So here's the top floor. This room right here was one of the brothers was one of the brothers' rooms, and then this was the other brother's room, and then this was November's room, and November actually stayed here for a short period of time with I think she moved back in with her husband, which I can't remember his name. Case. And so that's why there's a little baby bassinet. And then they moved out, and this was Seraphine's room with Dorian. So this was their old room. I don't think Lance sleeps in here anymore. But here's a picture of the two of them and their respective urns. So here's Seraphine's, and here is Dorian, and there's a picture of them when they were older. And that's where they are. And this is, I believe, Dorian's trophy, I think. But the home is strictly just dark black and white. These are the family colors. And if I put the doors, the walls up, oh my gosh. Here, if I'm gonna turn all the lights on so you can see. Where's this? Oh, here it is. Turn on all lights. So here is the original, my original heirs. The founders. This is Mayhem and June. So what they looked like. You might see bags because I actually had the Slice of Life mod at the time. So this is them. I actually made this CC. So since they are technically the founders, they actually have this big portrait, and that's of them. And then if we go downstairs, here is more of the house. We have a bathroom. We have this little dining room. We have an office over here. The foyer. And then we have the living room over here. And we have a photo wall, actually. None of them have frames. I could do it add frames, but here's the photo wall. Here is November and Pace here. Here's, of course, Seraphine and Dorian. Here's November. Oh, no, this is Seraphine. Oh, yeah, no, that's November. Seraphine took that. And here is when Cypus and Seraphine were children. And then this is from college. So Seraphine was really big on dyeing her hair a lot. So she dyed her hair a lot. This is her friend Alyssa Ward. And this is Mayhem and his wife Genesis. They're a very cute couple. He met her in Sulani. And so that's that. And then here's Seraphine and Mayhem before he passed away. And then here's Seraphine with her degree. And then there's her and her brother. And then here's all three of them. He's in the back. There's just Jackson in the back. And then here's Dorian. And then here is Miss Genesis. Bless you, sir. Bless you. Miss Genesis on the island. She's gorgeous. And then there's Seraphine and Cypus again. More photos of them. And I don't know why. I guess this photo fell off the wall. But here is November and Pace's wedding. A lot of people were there. And then here's Seraphine and Cypus again. So there's mainly a lot of photos of them because I haven't updated this in a long time. And here's them when they were about to graduate from college. And then here is the kitchen. And then downstairs is the room. This is the brewing room back here. So all the potions that were ever made are like stacked up in here. I spent a lot of time making this. And then I actually added, when Paranormal Stuff came out, I actually added another room, just this one back here. And I have a lot of cool stuff in here as well. I like to think that Seraphine was like tackling a lot of things. So it was really cool. And there's an extra bedroom because when Mayhem and Genesis were getting super old, they moved in. And Genesis, since they were like in the basement level, they decided to just, green up the room. And they have their own ensuite bathroom and a little storage unit here. And then a gym because Dorian, bless you again, sir. So Dorian liked to work out from home. And then here is the back. We have a little garden. This was Seraphine's garden. This was all of her hard work. And there's some stuff that needs to get done. And she has a lot of money trees and she has bees. And there was like a little thing in the front over here for the kids. And then there's a lot of tombstones. So here's Mayhem and here's Genesis. They passed and they were placed here. And then all the way back here is Kingston and Miss June. So they have their own spot in the back. So everyone pretty much is on this lot. I do plan to make it bigger and give them like a funeral. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened with the family. And I don't know, Lance is like working out, so he's minding his business. But yeah, so this is my current household. I will be updating you guys with them again relatively soon. I'm sorry this part was so long. I just really wanted to introduce you to the family that I just so desperately love, and they are super chaotic. Despite the mons I have, they're chaotic on their own, and I just want to share that with you guys. So if you like them, please let me know. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be bringing them up again. I will try to do an update to them in a couple weeks so you can see kind of where I'm at. Hopefully Benji's older. I play very slowly with them, so aging's usually off. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.